What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I have a bit of a story time for you today. I'm getting something done this week and I wanted to kind of give you the background on why I'm doing it and if I've done it in the past, which I have, and how it went. So basically I'm gonna start at the beginning and explain to you guys, you know, why I got them in the first place, what happened, and then we'll go on to what I'm going to be getting done. And warning, there's going to be a couple of photos here that are a little graphic as far as like swelling and bruising and things like that. So if that's something that freaks you out, then this is not the video for you. But otherwise, we can just chat about it. In August of 2017, I had gone years and years and years wanting to get my lips done. I have very small lips, I feel like. Not everyone else feels like that. Brandon definitely doesn't think that they're too small, but I've always had an insecurity, literally for as long as I can remember, that when I smile, as you can see, I lose this entire lip. And you can, up close, like on camera, you can't really see it, but in person, you can really see my gums, and it just has always really, really bothered me. And so when I was 21, I, you know, had a great job at the time, and I decided, you know, this is what I'm gonna do for my 21st birthday. I'm gonna treat myself and get my lips done. The girls that I worked with at the time all went to the same person, and this was in Boston, remember? So the person that we all went to, I wanna say was in Rhode Island, but everybody went to the same place, so I was like, okay, you know, I'll just go to that place. And I was fully prepared to go and get like a mil of Restylane. According to this nurse, this is what people always went for. So I went by myself, and you know, I go in and they numb me and do everything, and they tell me, you know, like, you have beautiful lips, but we'll do a mil, we'll just start out at that and kind of see how you feel. And the weirdest part is I remember going into this office and the girl that was gonna do it was really, really disheveled. Like, she looked like she just rolled out of bed. I mean, it was like a nice office, and obviously she was a certified nurse and everything, but when she walked in, she looked like hungover, like she literally just got out of bed and was about to inject me, which was really concerning and probably a big red flag, and I probably should have walked away then. But for whatever reason, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And she did a couple injections in my lower lip. Basically, she did like 0.7 in my upper lip and then 0.3 in my lower lip at the time, I want to say, because my lower lip is pretty like average size. It's my upper lip that was bothering me. It wasn't painful, it was fine, like everything felt really good. The before and after pictures immediately, I really was happy with, and I'll put those here so you can see. And then obviously, as it happens, over the next 2 days, you like swell, sometimes you bruise. I was really bruised, and you can see like along my lips here. And I remember right after I got it done, my girlfriends were like, oh, let's go out to eat. And this is the photo here, and I literally had a hat on because within like 2 hours, I was starting to swell really bad. And we went to eat, and I couldn't eat anything. It was the whole thing, really swollen, whatever. The next 2 days, I wish I had the video. If I can find it, I'm gonna put it right here. I took a Snapchat video, and I remember sending it to one of my girlfriends, and I was just a mess, and I was in so much pain. I was icing it, nothing was helping. It was really bad. And I didn't remember thinking that people swelled this bad. Like, I had watched videos, and I was really confused as to why it was so awful. That was in August, and then come, I wanna say it was December of 2017, I was like, okay, they look exactly the same as when I started, so maybe I just need to get them topped up. Like, it was almost like they faded immediately, which was really bizarre. And there was one spot in the corner of my lip here that felt like there was like a marble in it. Like, it felt like a tiny little bead, and it wasn't going away, and I would like rub it and it wasn't going. And the nurse had said, you know, like, it's gonna feel a little bit balled up, and it eventually like spreads and it'll be smooth and like it won't bother you. But if you looked at my mouth, you could literally see this ball, which is really weird. Like, you could see it, you could feel it. It was really irritating. I felt like I was like biting it when I was eating. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and have her like even it out and fix it or whatever. So I go back and I get a half mil this time when I go back. So this time I brought along one of my girlfriends from Boston, and we got there, and there was, she had like a little pet carrier in the office where she was injecting us, and it was, what do they call it? A hedgehog. She had a hedgehog in the office with her. And my girlfriend was like, what's going on? This is really like unprofessional. Why does she have that here? Why does she look like she's a mess? It was kind of weird, like basically feeling the same way that I felt the first time we went. But we still did it. We went through with it. I got $500,000 and they looked like how they did after my first injection. So it was almost like I had lost everything and then I got $500,000 and they looked the same again. So I was like, okay, I'm excited. Mind you, it had only been not even 3 months before I went back because they looked like they had deflated. So that was December, and then 2018 in like January, Brandon came, and for like the first 3 months of Brandon being in the States, I was like, I wanna get them done again, I wanna get them done again. They look the same, they're small. There's still these like marbly things, like they're uncomfortable. It felt like there was little balls in them, and I was like, obviously whatever this girl is doing isn't working because it's just going so fast. Like I look exactly the same as when I started. And you could look at the pictures before and after and it looked identical. Like there was literally no difference. It was very, very strange. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go to a new doctor. I found this one on Instagram and she had amazing photos, like everything looked really good and positive. I went to the office, immediately it was so much more professional. The nurses were dressed like nurses and even like the office was nicer. It was such a good vibe. And we got there and I remember I went in the office with Brandon and I was like, I want her lips. Like the girl that was about to inject me, she had exactly what I wanted, which was a good sign. Whereas the girl that injected me before, her face was kind of like too much had been done. You know the look, like too much is going on, maybe something got botched, which should have been a red flag. If you're a plastic surgeon or cosmetic surgeon person, doesn't look how you wanna look, or like they look a little botched, run away, run the other way, because they usually inject themselves and they should like have the best results if they're gonna do a good job on you. So anyway, we went to this girl and I basically told her like, you know, 4 months ago about at the time, I got $500,000 and then 6 months ago I had gotten a full mil. So I should have, you know, at least $1 mil-ish, maybe half left over in my lips. And she felt my lips and there were still like 3 little balls in the corner of it. And she was feeling it and she was like, okay, first of all, I'm not injecting you today. Like, we have to fix this. This is an issue. Did you go to this woman? And I told her like, oh my God, yeah, I went to her. Why do you know that? And she was like, I've had so many girls come here to get their lips fixed because of her. So that was like, oh my God, I made such a big mistake. Tons of people need this fixed.
I want to say one thing as well.
What?
Hey, I'm here. When Brittany went to this second woman, she actually asked the question before she felt Brittany's lips. She actually asked, have you ever actually had your lips done? Because it looked like she had never had them done. When she felt the crystals, she was like, it's weird that you have these crystals because it's like you've never had them done,
yeah.
Which I was like,
which is really bizarre because I had just gotten them done 3 months before, and she started feeling them. She was like feeling them, and she even grabbed you and she was like, feel her lips.
Yeah,
and she was like, all you could feel were these little 3 balls,
yeah.
And then there was nothing in the rest of my lips.
The one like down here, or was it up here, was like actually noticeable.
It was like one. You could see it if you.
It was like a little
lips.
pea, like a frozen pea in your lip.
It was like a bump. Like if you looked close enough, it looked like there was like a bump right here. Super bizarre. Anyway, and she's like feeling them, and she's like calling her other 2 nurses, and she's like, come in here, feel her lips. And they're feeling, and they're like, why are you having me feel her lips? There's nothing in them. She was like, you can tell that there's some product right here, or like there's something going on there. She was like, but there's nothing in her lips. If you got real Restylane in your lips, then they should have product in them still. Like I should be able to feel it. So anyway, she goes in and she just dissolves what's there. So it's like a teeny tiny, like an insulin needle almost. And she just like puts it directly in the bump that was there. And I guess if there's like a formula that's supposed to dissolve it. And she was like, you know, I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna touch your lips until they're fixed. We have to fix them first. I don't wanna put like my name on botched lips, basically. So, of course, I was really disappointed. I wanted to walk out with big, voluptuous lips. Instead, I found out that mine had been botched, and she had a theory that maybe she was like watering down the previous nurse, that maybe the previous nurse was watering down the product so that it like wasn't lasting as long and people had to come back more often. Maybe it was a scam, we're not sure. She was like, we've seen that before where like cosmetic surgeons have like watered down their product, so girls have to come back more often to get refills or like to get touch-ups and stuff. I don't know what happened. All I know is it was uncomfortable, it was ugly, and thank God for this woman. So professional, like everything she did was right. She told me to come back in 6 weeks after the ball had completely dissolved. I ended up just not going back because at the time I was like, I'm not ready to spend money on this again. I'm too nervous. I just need to not do it. After that day, I had to pay to get it dissolved, which is so annoying because somebody else you know, had messed them up. She could have easily made like $800 off of me to get this done, and instead she was like, I'm gonna make like 100 off of you or whatever it was to dissolve what's wrong. So I really respect that. That was so professional of her, and I just really, really appreciate it. That is kind of my story of what happened. Ever since then, I've just been like, I'm not gonna touch it, I'm not gonna worry about it. Really just not ideal, and I've been kind of nervous. However, now I am in England, and it is significantly cheaper to get your lips done in England than in the US. I don't know why, maybe because more people here do it, or who knows what the deal is. But I got really lucky. I found this woman on Instagram, and I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, you know, I've been looking for somebody reputable to do my lips while I'm here in England, and she has amazing, amazing photos. She really prefers the natural look, which is what I want. I don't want big, crazy Kylie Jenner lips. I just want enough that when I smile, you can't see my gums, and I still have a lip. And I know it's silly. Everyone has their own insecurities. I'm not encouraging anyone to go do this by any means. Do what's for you. Like, if you want to get your boobs done, more power to you. Your body, not my business. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I am just sharing it with you guys because I feel like if I can prevent one girl from, you know, this happening to, that would be great. So look at the photos, literally ask around, call a couple different places, ask for reviews, you know, just go to the office and do a consultation before you agree to get a needle stuck in your face, because quite frankly, if I had gone and done a consultation with the first nurse, I wouldn't have gone back because of how like kind of unprofessional it was in the office. I should have known better. So I recommend go get a consultation, make sure you're comfortable, ask around a ton, and if there's not pictures, then don't do it. Like, you need to see pictures of work that this person has done or a person that they have done it on in the past. Yes, so I'm going to be going to SP Aesthetics, and they just opened a new salon in Worcester. Brandon and I are in Birmingham in the Jewelry Quarter, and Worcester's like a 40-minute drive from here. Yep. So we are gonna be going this week to get that done, and she has so kindly offered to gift this to me, and obviously I'm gonna be doing a full video on the process so you guys can kind of see what I get done, what's natural, what isn't, and we can hear her tips and tricks about like what you should be doing for you, and we'll definitely get a bunch of her advice for that. So I am super, super excited about this, and yeah, I hope this video was helpful and informative, and the next one that you see will be my whole process of getting injected and the after effects, how I take care of myself, if I swell, if I don't, if I'm happy with it, if I'm not, everything else. And I will leave the Instagram of where I'm going, as well as the Instagram for their new salon where they're gonna be injecting me, down below. So if you wanna check that out before you see the video of what I get done, then definitely click that. And otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a big thumbs up, and I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Bye.